Hey guys, welcome back to Preston's Sketchpad for another episode of Presto Art. So, in this episode, I'm going to go through the design process of me drawing a character in a scene. So, starting off the bat, you can see me doing some quick, just basic gesture kind of concept doodles. I'm just looking for a couple storyboard kind of thumbnails to see what kind of pose I want in the picture. So you can see that I'm just doing really quick shapes to see what kind of action I want to show or how much detail or what I'm thinking of in terms of design. You can see I've done already two different styles. I've done one kind of blocked in with a little bit of more detail to it, one kind of loose figure, both different angles, and then you can see here with the third one that I'm doing right now that I'm actually filling it in pretty close to anatomy. I'm trying a little bit of perspective. I'm labeling them now. So I know what I was going for in case I get sidetracked with my other drawings. This also helps for just in case you plan on using multiple different pictures. This also can help you kind of plan on which order you need to do the work in. Whether you want to show um, a panel of art, so different parts of a jump, let's say, or a fall, or an action scene, like that. So having different gestures and concepts and thumbnails really makes a big difference in the whole design process when it comes to storytelling and obviously animation. So all these things help uh, build the bigger picture, a better picture, and obviously a more interesting picture in conclusion. So you can see by building up the anatomy with a gesture as opposed to just doing a quick little um, blob like the first one I did, I guess. You can see that it really does help with the design process of how it's going to look and what I'm going for, and it gives you a better idea. So you can see that I'm starting to get a little picky in terms of my thumbnails that I'm putting down. I'm starting to put a little more detail and get a better idea of what I'm maybe looking to do. Clearly, I'm looking to do something with flight. All these involve some kind of either motion or flight, so I'm just thinking which one I should choose, and I'm gonna go with this one just because it is the most interesting to me and I like the pose the most, and it's something I can play around with. So now that I've picked the general idea and thumbnail that I like, I'm gonna play around with the layout and design of it. So first things first, I'm just gonna go and draw some white lines over my general layout. That way I can see maybe what I had in store, put a little more detail to it, and see how that turns out before I actually get to the fine art of it. Now, the drawing I drew is a little big, is a little bulky. It's not something I was going for. So I'm just gonna tone down the size of the arms, the hands, how big the legs and body look, and give it some detail, and just slowly add on and cut back where I find in my process that I need to. And now doing a quick concept of a general idea like flying, not a redesign of Superman, let's say. The comparison between the two would be that a redesign in Superman, I'd be taking basic elements of Superman's costume and literally coming up with a new style or uniform for him. With just basic concept art, you are consistently drawing the picture and reimagining how you draw it. So a lot of the times throughout my process, I'll be uh, seeing new ideas halfway through. So initially, I was going to go with like a power pack on his chest, as you can see, kind of very Iron Man, kind of Thor panel circles on his chest and midsection there. And I'm just going to be building that up, but you can see that I'm slowly changing little things here and there with the outline and design of this character's outfit. So now that I've got the general idea for my final line, I'm just going to add some more detail to it until I'm happy with the final outlook and concept. So I'm fixing his legs now because the hip and crotch area look too big. The hip bone is too elongated. So fixing that so it looks a little more proper and anatomically correct. So now is when I start playing with the final concept. So I'm going for a flying concept, as you can tell. He's in a very stiff flying pose, and he's got, as you can see, the flames coming out of his feet. So now, as I mentioned before, I'm changing the concept. So I had already drawn something, now I'm fixing it because a better idea or a new idea has come to mind, and I'm going to use that because it fits what I'm going for better. So now instead of having just a power pack on his chest, I've got a parachute slash rocket pack type design on his back now, and you can see that it wasn't a difficult transition to make. I didn't do something that was tweaking the whole picture. It was a minor tweak. You can see that as I'm drawing, I'm constantly evolving my idea. I'm adding little guider flaps and wings to the side of the gloves and the boots. In my mind, at the time I was drawing those, I was thinking that it would make it more aerodynamic logically to see those. You can kind of understand how the actual machine would work. Part of really good concept work is not just creativity and imagination. Making it look realistic and plausible is also a very big benefit to a good piece of art or an interesting one. So I'm now playing with the finer details to the drawing. I've got the general build, I've got the outline of the character, I've got the add-ons that I wanted to do. So now I'm just building up detail. So I've added a helmet. I've put in some design for the helmet. He's got his face is in there now. I've got a hairline, nose, mouth, eyes are in there, and I'm just starting to put the final details. So as you can see, I'm starting to put a little more attention into the clothing, and you'll see that I'm going to start playing with the accessories of this. So again, going back to the comment about changing the picture. It's never a bad idea to have multiple concepts. When designing a character, often you get a very, very vague description, as in, I want a monster with horns. So there could be 15, 20, 100 different ways to create a monster with horns that the person is asking for. So the ability to constantly change your picture actually is a huge benefit, because it means you're not locked into one design. You have the ability to flow with your creative process. As you can see here, I've started adding the detail to the clothes and the parts around the costume that the drawing, or the character, sorry, is wearing. So now that I've got the Rocket Man's general pose, and I've got the detail, and I've liked the layout, and I am adding the final design elements to it, this is where you would like to make the big changes. If you're going to make any, this is where you start to compare. So you can see here that I'm trying to figure out why that tube is connecting from one arm to the arm instead of the jetpack. I'm trying to see if it looked weird, but it makes a little more sense when you look at it. And just all in all, lets the eye actually flow through the actual picture a little bit better by having those tubes elongated. So in the video, I'm just going to play around with the angle and the curvature of those wires, and just have them connect to the jetpack instead of the arm. Now, like I said, the reason why I was doing this is in terms of the elements of design. If it doesn't make sense visually, regardless of whether it makes sense scientifically or factually, if for some reason seeing it strikes the viewer as odd, or too extreme, it will take away from the picture as opposed to building it. Alright guys, so the next video I'm going to post is a coloring video of this one, so make sure to check it out. Like and subscribe to the video to see more.